No, I know. There we go. It was picking up the wrong signal. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, let me get
It's
the.
going. It's good.
Yeah, I gotta get the volume
Yeah.
in. We're on. There we go. Hey man, what do you know about Fame, the
Who?
family affiliated Irish mob out of Cocoa County?
Oh, Fame.
Yeah.
Okay. The thing about Fame is, uh, what it is it's family Aryan Irish uh, mafia. Family Aryan Irish mafia. Fame. And because I run into one of them guys in 2014 coming through the Sac County Jail, right? And he had a rock right above his eyebrow,
Ooh.
a little rock. And I asked him, I told him, what are you doing flying that rock, right? And he says, Barry authorized us to fly the rock, and we're family Aryan Irish mafia. That's what they are. That's what FAME stands for. Family Aryan Irish Mafia. That's exactly what it stands for. I forget his name. They call him, I think, Shorty. And he had got a case for some dope and a gun and stuff like that. And we were talking about it. And basically, listen. Here's the way it is. This shit is not complex, right? Uh, the more this social order breaks down, the more you're going to have crews coming into being. The more people, especially whites, feel disenfranchised from their own country, and they're attacked and ostracized and all that as being racist because they claim to be white, which they are. If you look in a mirror and you're white and you don't see white, clearly you're fucking deranged. So something's fucking wrong, right? And so
Yep.
what happens is they're forming ecosystems. And, some people are the goyim, the cattle, the sheep. They're just going to lay down. But you got other ones that aren't. The nature of life itself, the struggle to survive, the will to live, that's the nature of a strong bio uh, chemical organism to, sustain itself, to fight for survival. That's why I always tell motherfuckers that the government can say what they want, but you got guys in cages trying, the hook and ladder gangs, trying to get over walls, over fences, under walls, saw bars, whatever. That's, laws, but that's healthy psychological and emotional behavior. You're trying to break chains and cages and liberate yourself, you know what I mean? To free yourself from varying degrees of suffocation. So when you start getting all these other little crews, and here's the flaw with the American thing. They want it to be a melting. That's the problem. Because when people look in mirrors, they see what they are. And this doesn't mean you're bad. It doesn't mean like I'm a white man, so I'm better than you. It just means we're different. That's all that means. And it doesn't mean we can't get along. It doesn't mean I don't respect you or any of that or any of that. It just means we're different. Look in the fucking mirror. We're different. It's real simple. Just like males and females are different. Look in the fucking mirror. We're different. This isn't complex. If I'm standing in a fucking mirror, me and Raquel Welch, and I see the same thing, clearly I'm deluded. I'm deranged like a motherfucker. So the thing is this: what happens because of this history of this country, and all of the stuff they came over here carrying that Semite virus because they were infected with it over in. They're trying to run from that shit persecution. They come over here, then basically they start persecuting the natives, taking their shit, which I don't like. I'm not a part of that either. And then the slaves come over because they were sold in slavery by their own people. And then the elitists over here, the big business motherfuckers, government motherfuckers, all that, were the ones really buying them, getting that going, and all of that. So you got all that baggage. Then you got all the other stuff. You got the different racial, cultural, spiritual belief constructs. Now you got to understand something. When people, when their substrate, their programming, their motherboard in their biochemical computer, their psychoconceptual programming, is their roots. You know, their ecosystem, their cultural things, spiritual things, racial identities, and everything that arise into that. That's a healthy ecosystem and a healthy bioorganism. It has deep roots, deep foundation to it. When you come over here and you're trying to strip them of it, and you get into this pop culture thing that's changing all the time, there's no deep roots. There's no deep foundation and basis with that they self-identify with, and the ones that still do, that identify with the stuff, they make them the bad guys, especially if they're white. You say you can't be white, you can't identify with your racial, cultural, spiritual thing, because if you are, that's what's happening with Faim. And then Faim, listen, the one I ran into, most of them are involved in the drug game, doing what they're doing. Most of them are drug addicts. They're drug addicts, you know. And that's why, like, the skinhead thing, the real skinhead thing is you can't use any drugs. Their drug is alcohol. And but you can't use any drugs, and you can't push because it's bad for your people, it's bad for the race. But I'm going to tell you something, a lot of them on the side, they're all in violation.
Oh, yeah.
I see them all the time shooting dope, getting high, doing all that shit. And they're in violation of their own shit, man. You know. I remember back in the days, people used to always say about how bad drugs are, and they are. But you got to remember, most motherfuckers coming up from the streets, man, they use. So they get into jails, it's like the AB, man. A lot of dudes are using, and it creates problems. And it's always created problems. So I used to have a statement, listen, man, use the drug, don't let the drug use you, and don't use the drug on organizational time. Don't do that. Don't let the drug become the driving force of your life. You got bigger and better things you got to do. And if you're using on the side, that's your business. But do not allow that to interfere with organizational business. Because Barry used to say, oh, yeah, we got to get off drugs. And everybody should get off drugs, and we should abstain from. But as soon as a motherfucking sack would hit, he'd be one of the first ones there with his beak in the spoon. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is, man. So you can't be hypocrites. And I used to tell them, listen, man, it's
you have 1 minute left.
It's unrealistic to expect a lifelong drug addict to just quit using drugs. It's just, it don't work that way. You got to maybe somehow incrementally teach them to evolve past that and get past that shit. You know, so. But anyhow, that's what it is with Faim. They're a product too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't fault them for that. I don't fault them for that. They're trying to represent. I tell everybody, listen, man, your first flag is your skin color. And then anything else other than that is secondary. So plant your flag, hold your ground, man. Yeah. You know, and represent, man, and build yourself for your people. Build your people up. You know what I mean?
I agree with you.